Boy oh boy, I sure am hungry now. Anyway, let's catch up where we left off. With Bennings now being a toasted s'more, the men decide now is probably a good time to destroy the rest of the mutated bodies.
Now kill him! Just leave it here.
He smashed up some of the chopper pretty good.
Most of you don't know what's going on around here. Hold on, damn well. You're some of...
He got most of the chopper and the tractor, and he's killed the rest of the dogs.
No! No! That thing wanted to be on!
Come on, man. You don't want to hurt anybody.
Okay, look, I get it. I understand where Blair's coming from, but perhaps a rational conversation with the guys about it? Maybe? After subduing Blair, Clark goes to check on the dogs.
Emotional damage!
I don't know who to trust.
I know what you mean, Blair.
With Blair being truly one flew over the cuckoo's nest, the guys decide the best course of action is to isolate him in his shack to prevent him from causing any more damage or hurting himself or others. With Blair seemingly taken care of, the men discuss what they should do next.
Somebody in this camp ain't what he appears to be. Right now, that may be one or two of us. By spring, it could be all of us.
If I was an imitation, a perfect imitation, how would you know if it was really me?
Copper comes up with a hypothesis. He can take blood samples to determine who's human and who isn't.
Is there some kind of test, Doc?
Possibly. I've been thinking about a blood serum test.
A real important blood test.
I suppose if there's a reaction, we'd know who isn't human.
Keep an eye on Clark. He was close to that dog.
Somebody got to the blood!
What? Stop right here.
Wait a minute.
Unfortunately, before they can run the tests, someone has sabotaged their backup blood supply. The group, who were all once colleagues and friends, erupt into a bickering mob of scared men as fear, distrust, and paranoia set in. With MacReady now seemingly in charge, he instructs the men he trusts to tie up the men he doesn't. He also asks Fuchs to come up with a new blood test.
Nobody trusts anybody now. We're all very tired.
You come up with anything yet?
If a small particle of this thing is enough to take over an entire organism, then everyone should prepare their own meals. And I suggest we only eat out of cans.
Whilst Fuchs is working on a new blood test, he sees a shadowy figure and he follows it out into the snow to investigate. No, not MacReady. He's like one of my favorites.
Anybody see Fuchs? Palmer, you and Windows check the inside.
I ain't going with Windows. I ain't going with it. I'll go with Child.
Hey, fuck you, Pop!
The suspicion, trust, and paranoia are reaching peak palpable levels.
I don't want to stay out here anymore. I want to come back inside. I'd like to come back inside. Now, you got my promise. I want to come back inside, don't you understand it? You gotta let me come back inside.
Just open the doors, please.
No. I have to get inside.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think he wants to come back inside. Anyway, the search for poor Fuchs continues.
Is it Fuchs? Yeah. Maybe he burned himself before it could get to him. You go inside, tell the others we found Fuchs. We'll be in as soon as we can. You people sit tight, hold the fort, and keep the home fires burning. And if we're not back by dawn, call the president.
Where are we going?
Up to my shack.
What the hell for?
Because when I left yesterday, I turned the lights off.
Whilst MacReady and Knowles go up to his shack to investigate, poor Norris seems to be struggling.
Hey! All of you, come here!
Like, really struggling. Knowles returns to the group with some torn-up clothes of MacReady's, implying he could be a thing.
He's one of them.
Right.
After Windows and Palmer have another bitching match, they make the decision to waste MacReady, believing he could be one of the creatures.
What if we're wrong about him?
Why then we're wrong?
Anyone messes with me and the whole camp goes. You asshole.
You'd have done the same thing.
Don't argue with him.
Frickin' freezing in here, Mr. Bigglesworth.
Norris makes a play to grab Mac, but unfortunately for him, it looks like his tickers had enough.
Not breathing!
Go into the dock.
With Norris seemingly having a cardiac arrest, Mac asks for the dock to be untied. Now, what's coming up is quite possibly one of the greatest scenes in cinematic movie history.
Let's watch some crazy stuff, yo!
It's absolutely
I love this guy.
fantastic effects.
Where the hell has this fucker been? Holy shit, Morty! It's John Carpenter's the motherfucking thing!
Jeez, Rick, oh my god! That's some pretty hardcore stuff. What in the hell?
Sorry about that, folks. Not quite sure what happened there. Let me suggest that you watch this movie without someone special in your life. There's nothing quite as romantic as Cronenbergian love. It really gets your juices flowing. Anyway, with Norris now being reduced to a scuttling spiderhead, we're treated to the film's most iconic line.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Aw, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
With 4 members of the team now dead, McCready isn't fucking around anymore and steps up to the plate big time.
You and Palmer, tie everybody down real tight.
What for?
For your health.
Come on, let's rush him. He's not gonna blow us all up.
He ain't tying me up.
Then I'll have to kill you, child.
Then kill me.
When you do.
I guess you do.
First these dogs and now Clark? Jesus, I need a drink.
Good morning. If you work nights the way I do, you miss a lot of great TV shows, but I don't miss them anymore, thanks to Sony's Betamax deck, which hooks up to any TV set. While I am out, Betamax is automatically videotaping my favorite show for me to play back when I get home. And now I'm going to watch it.
And we're back. I'm gonna let some of this scene play out for itself. It's important. Trust me. After putting an exit wound in the back of Clark's skull, McCready instructs Palmer to tie up the corpses.
This is bullshit, Mac.
Call me Snake.
Finish it, Palmer. They're dead, Mac.
The name's Pliskin.
We're gonna draw a little bit of everybody's blood.
Boy, I usually only get this excited when they say the title of a movie in the movie.
We're gonna find out who's the thing.
He said it! He said it!
Watching Norris in there gave me the idea that maybe every part of him was a whole. Every little piece was an individual animal. You see, when a man bleeds, it's just tissue. The blood from one of you things won't obey when it's attacked. It'll try and survive, crawl away from a hot needle, say.
Really?
Well, I just reject your hypotheses.
Now you.
Well, that's properly sterilized. Windows isn't too bright, is he?
I guess you're okay. All right. Put that on and watch them. Now I'll show you what I already know.
It's a crock of shit.
Let's try the Doc and Clark. Now, Clark.
And Clark was human, huh? Which makes you a murderer, don't it?
Palmer now.
They say you can imitate anybody, even their voice.
Busted.
No. Busted!
The blood test sample scene is a pivotal, intense moment in the film that underscores the paranoia and distrust among the characters. The scene is masterfully created to build tension, with every character's reaction closely observed by the audience. The fear of discovery and the unknown creates a palpable sense of dread. The outcome of the scene propels the narrative forward, leading to further confrontations and revelations about the aliens' abilities. The scene symbolizes the theme of paranoia and the breakdown of trust in the face of an unseen threat. It showcases the psychological toll of survival in a hostile environment that effectively captures the essence of the film's themes, while delivering intense suspense and horror.
This is pure nonsense. Doesn't prove a thing.
I thought you'd feel that way, Gary. You were the only one that could have got to that blood.
You know, you look like your head fell on the cheese dip back in 1957.
Simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than...
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
How fucking cool are flamethrowers? Let's give them a little love, shall we?
Anybody want a fried sauerkraut? Baseball the flamethrower. The kids love this one.
I'm pretty sure this is a homage to the 1951 version scene where they're throwing buckets of fuel on the creature. It's so awesome.
That woke me up in a hurry.
You weren't ready for this explosion.
It was over before it happened. I mean, I felt stuff go through me on that.
Finish him.
Fatality. Outstanding.
Now that's what I call a 2-for-1 special. Anyway, Mac tests the remaining members' blood.
Let's do it.
Get me out of here. Cut me loose. Cut me the hell. Come on, get me out of here. Come on, get me out of here. Cut me loose, damn it. Get me out of here.
I'd rather not spend the rest of this winter tied to this fucking couch!
Well, it may not look it, but that couch is very comfortable.
The usual, sir. Even after 500 plays, our high-fidelity tape still delivers.
With 7 men down and only 5 remaining, the rest of our esteemed gentlemen decide to go to Blair's shack to give him the test.
We're going out to give Blair the test.
How'd he get out? The door was bolted from the outside.
He's gone. He's gone from here. Evil is gone.
Hey, Blair, you down there? I got something for you.
In their pursuit for Blair, they come across a very familiar-looking spacecraft.
What is it? Something he's been making.
It's a ship of some kind. He stole the parts from the helicopter. Where was he trying to go?
Any place but here.
Without warning, suddenly all power in the camp goes dark.
Got back inside and blew the generator. 6 hours, it'll be 100 below in here.
That cold ain't the weather. That's death approaching.
MacReady theorizes that the thing blew the generator because it wants to go to sleep in the cold and await the rescue team to find it.
Whether we make it or not, we can't let the thing freeze again. Maybe we'll just warm things up a little around here.
To prevent the thing from going into hibernation, the men use Molotovs and dynamite to blow the shit out of the camp, which in turn will raise the temperature around the camp and stop the thing from freezing, mimicking the same events at the Norwegian base.
The generator's gone. Any way we can fix it?
It's gone, MacReady.
My name's Pliskin.
We gotta bring this whole place right down into the ice. Gary, Plancher's in the old storage room. Nall's down by the generator.
A jump scare from Wilford Brimley is almost as frightening as diabetes.
Diabetes, 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 diabetes.
Thank you, Wilford.
With Gary getting the most extreme dose of Botox I've ever seen, we're down to our last two men. Let the final battle begin.
Nice fucking model!
Ugly motherfucker.
We're treated to one more incredible practical creature effect, the pièce de résistance.
Yeah, fuck you too!
You're a badass motherfucker.
Not bad for a human.
With the Blair Thing hybrid taken care of, and his fate all but sealed, MacReady slumps down with his favorite bottle, awaiting the inevitable.
Did you kill it?
Yes, I did.
Where were you, Charles?
Thought I saw Blair. I went out after him. Got lost in the storm. Fire's got the temperature up all over the camp. Won't last long, though.
Neither will we.
How will we make it?
Maybe we should.
If you're worried about me,
If we've got any surprises for each other, I don't think we're in much shape to do anything about it.
well, what do we do?
Why don't we just wait here for a little while?
And you see what happens.
So, who's the thing? Is it MacReady? Or Childs? Or both of them? Or neither of them? We'll never know, dear friends. And that is the beauty of it. So there you have it, mortal friends. John Carpenter's The Thing. Now, to answer the most important question of all, is it one of, if not the best horror movies of all time?
Yes! 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 Yes!
Hell, I'd go as far to saying it's one of the best fucking movies of all time, and I know others agree.
I think it's one of the greatest horror movies ever made, if not one of the greatest movies ever made.
I completely agree.
So, let's explore why myself and Mr. Tarantino are correct, and anyone who disagrees is wrong. Groundbreaking special effects. The film's practical effects created by Rob Bottin are universally praised for their realism and creativity.
Wanted to make The Thing also never look the same twice, because if we see it again and again and again and again in the movie, you get kind of bored with it, and it just becomes a very familiar, object.
Rob Bottin's effects in that movie are some of the greatest practical special effects ever put on a movie theater screen.
The grotesque and terrifying transformations of the creature are still considered some of the most impressive practical effects in cinema history. Atmosphere of paranoia. Carpenter masterfully builds tension and suspense throughout the film. The isolated Antarctic setting amplifies the sense of claustrophobia and hopelessness. The film features a diverse ensemble cast of characters, each with their own personalities and motivations. The interactions between the characters as they grapple with fear, suspicion, and betrayal add depth to the story and enhance the emotional impact of the film. Morricone Music Masterclass. Carpenter did not compose the film's score himself, despite having composed music for many of his other films. Instead, Ennio Morricone, the renowned Italian composer, was hired to create the score. Carpenter felt that Morricone's style would bring a unique atmosphere to the film, particularly with his expertise in creating tension and mood through music. The score is highly regarded and is considered an integral element of the film's enduring legacy and cult status. Interestingly, Morricone also wrote an original score for The Hateful Eight. In a stroke of genius, Tarantino utilized some of the unused tracks from Morricone's score for The Thing. They fit perfectly, as The Hateful Eight and The Thing share some thematic and stylistic similarities, despite belonging to different genres. Ambiguous ending. The film's ending has sparked decades of debate, theories, and speculation among fans, adding to its enduring appeal. The lack of a definitive resolution allows for multiple interpretations and encourages viewers to engage with the film on a much deeper level. Influence on a genre. The Thing has had a significant influence on the horror genre, inspiring countless filmmakers and serving as a benchmark for practical effects-driven horror films. It will forever have an iconic status within the horror genre and a lasting influence on pop culture. Its impact can be seen in numerous subsequent films, TV shows, video games, and comics, and even a prequel film released in 2011, confusingly also titled The Thing. However, it received mixed reviews from both critics and audiences. While some viewers appreciated the film's attempts to tie into the events of the 1982 version and expand upon its story, others felt it didn't live up to the standards set by Carpenter's film, myself included. Many criticized it for relying too heavily on CGI effects instead of practical effects, which were a defining feature of the original. It's a shame because the FX studio, Amalgamated Dynamics, actually filmed amazing practical creature effects, but they were all cut and replaced with really shitty CG. What a waste. It's a fun companion piece for sure, and it has its moments and merits, but overall it's a pale imitation. Legacy and reevaluation over time. Upon release, The Thing initially received mixed reviews and was a commercial failure. It faced criticism for its intense gore and horror elements.
I have some problems with it. One of them is, I think, the characters. They're not made into three-dimensional people. Their function is to walk down the corridor and be jumped on.
Fuck you, man.
The other thing is plausibility. Once they figure out that this thing can turn into one of them, they ought to institute a watertight buddy system, but instead they have all kinds of loopholes.
Fuck you!
The story is totally implausible, and the movie just basically is an excuse for this very gruesome and repellent creature.
Fuck you!
To gross us out. It is the most nauseating thing I've ever seen on a movie screen.
Fuck you!
Additionally, it had the misfortune of being released around the same time as another big-name science fiction movie, which offered a more family-friendly and optimistic view of an extraterrestrial encounter. This likely contributed to the mixed reception. The mainstream audience just wasn't ready.
I don't know what the hell's in there. It's weird and pissed off, whatever it is.
Turn it off. Turn it off!
It has since been re-evaluated by critics and audiences alike, and is now regarded as an absolute cult classic of the genre. In conclusion, The Thing is a grotesque masterpiece of cosmic horror. It leaves an indelible mark on all who dare to venture into its icy, terror-filled world. So, Whether you're a seasoned horror aficionado like myself or a curious newcomer, The Thing promises an unforgettable journey into the unknown, where fear lurks behind every corner and trust becomes a luxury in the face of unimaginable eldritch horrors. Personally, for yours truly, it is the best horror movie ever made. Period.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Well, it's been quite the ride, my mortal acquaintances. I have been your host, Mr. Cthulhu, and with a little bit of cosmic luck, I'll see you for the next one soon. In the meantime, just remember to watch your friends and loved ones, and watch them close, you hear me? You never know when they may sprout king crab legs.
I bring you a warning. Every one of you listening to my voice, tell the world. Tell this to everybody wherever they are. Watch the skies, everywhere. Keep looking. Keep watching the skies.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.